Good morning, everybody. Today I want to show how you can collect this board, this ABSO LAB board, how you can use it to replace a dead bulb from this digital stabilizer. This digital stabilizer, let me show you. This is a Mega Science 2003 stabilizer. It's a digital stabilizer. So how you can use this board? You know the board that comes with this stabilizer is this. So the board is already dead. So we want to replace it with ABSO LAB board now. But this first video I want to show you how you can use this board to communicate with the display here. By default, this is the default display that work with this board. This is the default display. But since this stabilizer is a digital stab, you don't condemn this display. So you can still use this display to work with this board. So that's what I want to show you now. So what you do is that you just try to make the right collection. On this board, you can see there are some times here. You can see DIO, CLK, you don't use STB. DIO means data input output, CLK means clock, while this one is ground, then the last one is 5-volt. Then this first one is key for the delay switch. So the same thing applicable here. You come to this board now, you see SWD, that's for delay switch, DIO, data input and output, clock, that's CLK, 5-volt and ground. So what you now try to do is you make sure as the label is here, you make sure the collection is rightly collected to the appropriate pin here. Are you with me now? So now let's try it now. This is the cable for this display now. This is the cable for this display. I will now insert it here. Let me remove this one. So I want to insert it here. I've inserted it. Then you now power this board with 12-volt. So let me power it with 12-volt. This is my power supply. This is the ground. You can see this is my power supply, 12-volt now. You now on this board. You now on the power supply. So once I on it, you can see that the display is actually displaying some things. There are some value, there are some pattern display on the display, but it's not meaningful yet. So what you now do is that you now press this button once at a time. So once you are pressing this button, the processor here try to remap the pattern for this display. So when you get a correct pattern, you now stop. Are you with me now? So let's start now. So by pressing this button, the pattern here will be remapping. The processor on this board will remap the pattern for this display. Let me try. So I will press it one. Yeah. You can see that the display is the pattern has changed, but yet it doesn't produce any meaningful figure. So let me press it again. So I've pressed it again. You can still see. Let me press it again. I press it again. So now you can see that the value is now readable now. You can see it's now counting 1, 2, 3, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's where you stop pressing the button. So the processor on this board has remapped the pattern for this display. So you can now use this display with this board. You don't condemn the display. So that's how you do it. Then if you now check at the back here, you see that the in-use LED is now on. Then the delay LED is also on, meaning that this board, this display can work perfectly with this ABSO LAB board. So this is my first video on this. Just follow me for more, because I will still explain how you can collect this terminal with this board. But this is the first part of the video. Thank you.